What is going on, everybody? And today I wanted to make something a little bit different than what I usually do. So today I wanted to cover a very big topic that a lot of people do ask, and it usually either revolves around as A, how do I get to Pirate Legend quickly, or B, how do I get a lot of loot as fast as possible. Now, just before I get too far into this video, I do want to say that it is very unlikely that you'll be able to make Pirate Legend with under 24 hours of game time. But anyway, please note this entire video is just my opinion, and I'm sure there's other ways out there, but this is just the way that I found to be most beneficial. Now, quickly and simply, the best way to get loot when you're first starting out is without a doubt the Merchant Alliance. The things you're going to want to look for is golden snakes, golden chickens, golden pigs, and essentially anything that has the word golden in it. Now, the reason I say golden is because no matter what it is, you'll get between 800 to 16, maybe even 1700 gold per golden item. Now, that does vary a lot depending on time, so the quicker you are, the better profit you'll reap from it. Anyway, moving on to levels. Now, this can work with essentially anything, whether you do Gold Hoarders, Merchant Alliance, or Order of Souls. Now, the key thing to look for is not actually the mission objective itself, but instead the commendations you get for doing things. So when you go onto your menu screen, you should see the little icons that show what you are in this, what level you are in a certain faction. Now, if you click or press A on that, it'll take you into these commendations, and they're essentially little challenges you get within that faction. And if you aim to complete one of those every time you do a mission, that is essentially the quickest way you can get to Pirate Legend. Now, not only is doing those commendations a really good way of getting levels, the other good thing you can do is skull forts. They are absolutely amazing for literally anything. The amount of gold you can pull from a skull fort, and with that, the amount of levels you can get from the stronghold chest and the stronghold skull is absolutely insane. Now, with that though comes the challenge of other people in the game. Usually a good approach is to be friendly towards everyone, but it's not often that people will be friendly to you in return. It's really a hit and miss sort of thing with that. And finally, if you don't want to commit to doing commendations or doing skull forts, the best thing for purely levels alone is without a doubt the Gold Hoarders. The reason I say that, because the amount of things you find outside of the chest itself, so like occasionally you'll find other chests on the same island that aren't part of the mission, or other skulls, or other message in a bottle, or other bits of loot. It just ends up working out that Gold Hoarders is usually the best way to go, and the plus side about that is the higher the level you are, the better loot you get from Gold Hoarder missions. Now, if you want to get to Pirate Legend, of course you'll have to get all of your factions to max level, and the only one that I find a bit of a challenge is, well, even then it's not a challenge itself, but it is very time consuming and it can get boring quickly, is the Order of Souls. Now, my best tip for Order of Souls is without a doubt play with other people. If you do the Order of Souls by yourself, there's a very high chance that you're going to get killed. Not saying all the time you'll get killed, but when you get killed, that does take around 3 to 5 minutes to get back to what you were doing from dying. At first it's not too bad, but over time it really does add up. So if you're playing solo, the best thing you can do is probably stick with Merchant Alliance or Gold Hoarders. Then multiplayer, I definitely suggest moving over to Order of Souls. Keeping everything short, I'm going to go on to my final tip, and that tip is find shipwrecks. Every time you see birds in the sky, it'll either be barrels or shipwrecks. Honestly, every time you see them, it is worth going out of your way to go to those different locations, because if you find a shipwreck, there's a very high chance that you'll find good loot inside of there. And that loot will obviously lead to levels and, of course, money. Okay, and with everything said, that essentially wraps up the video. They are my best tips. As I said, personally, this is my opinion. There's other ways to do it, and I'm sure there's possibly better ways to do it. But this is what I found to be the easiest and best way for me. Alright, so as you know, every week Sea of Thieves posts new updates. If you want to know what to do and how to complete them within the first hour, please do consider subscribing, because I'll be doing that every week for all the new updates. Alright, if you enjoyed, feel free to subscribe and like, and I'll see you in the next video.